Hi, welcome back guys. Welcome to Guiding Your Mind, and in this video I want to talk about your programming in your first 7 years of life, right? So from 0 to 6, these are known as your formative years. And if you look at a computer program, a hard drive, when it's formatted, it's ready to go into the shops and to be sold, right? Like ready to go into the world. Well, for us as children, what happens is our brainwaves in the first 7 years are really slow. So this is where our hard drive, if you like, is being formatted, right? So at this point here, the beliefs and the values and so forth are being created that we're going to have for the rest of our life, or for most of our life typically, right? We'll change some of it, most of it won't change. So what happens is, let's say as a child, an incident happens that makes you defensive to protect yourself, for example. So you become defensive in such a way as to protect yourself from future hurts of the same nature type of thing, right? So you create some kind of barrier, some kind of response, and that barrier response helps you deal with that kind of situation. Then what happens is when you get to, like, for example, an adult, and you've got this programming, and then that same situation or similar situation happens, you then respond in the way that you were programmed in your first 7 years, right? But as a child in the first 7 years, you're just a baby, so you don't really know what the correct response is. So imagine now you're a parent and you've got a child and you're talking to a child. When you're talking to a child, what happens is that child will say to you maybe, oh, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, that type of thing. And then you can pick that child up with your words and encourage and be, the support that that child needs, right? Well, guess what? You have to do that for yourself now. Why is it so important that you do that for yourself? Because that child programmed your thinking process. So now when something comes up and a situation comes up and you think like, oh, I just can't do it, it's too much, or it's this or that, it's up to you now to be the parent that says, no, wait a minute, that's not the truth. Actually things take a time to learn. I have to build the skill, whatever it is, in order to be able to get to the level that I want to get to, type of thing, right? So in your first 7 years of life, when you program this, you programmed it as a child. So it's like a child is now programmed how you behave as an adult, both your responses and stuff. So this is why it's really important to start sitting down and looking at things that you want to have in your life, what you want to have come to fruition, what you want to have happen, how you want things to go. And then look at how you can behave for that. Because most of us, our behavior is quite reactive, responsive to our outside environment based upon the program that we had as a child that we gave to ourselves, right? You come in a room and you're dressed as a ballerina and dancing around, or you're dressed as like a cowboy and you come out, or a fireman or something, shooting guns and stuff, and then one of your parents says something that maybe you take in the way that sounds like it's derogative, or like it's putting you down, telling you're not good enough, right? It's just how you interpret in it, right? It could be a case where that parent, for example, where that parent is going through a hard, stressful time and they're really tense and under a certain amount of pressure, then anything that anyone says can really get their back up. So for example, that maybe they don't know how they're going to pay the rent this month, but you don't know that's going on inside of them, but they're dealing with that. And as a child, you don't know. So you might come to your parent and say, hey, look at this thing that I drew. And they'd be like, I'm not interested in that. Move that rubbish away from me. I've got more important things to deal with. And as a result, that child now creates a barrier with their response, and the barrier that creates the response now becomes embedded in a constant behavior that they're doing every time they feel some form of rejection, some which way, shape or form. Whether it's real or perceived, it doesn't matter. The reaction still comes about, right? So they react. That's the child reacting, do you see? That's not the adult reacting, that's the child reacting through that programming in those formative years, right? When your hard drive, so to speak, has been formatted to behave and respond a certain way, what you need to do is you need to upload new programming into it. And the best way to do that is with awareness. You have to be aware. Be aware of what's going on in your world, in your environment. Wake up, oh dreamer. As they would say in reality transurfing. Wake up, oh dreamer. You're awake within this dream. You're sleeping within this dream. You need to wake up. You need to become aware of what's going on. When you become aware of things, guess what? You can now have a different response. And a different response creates a different outcome. And we need to look at things in that way. Like, what is it I'm trying to achieve here? Do you see what I mean? Is this the correct response? Am I behaving like a child in this instance? A lot of time, as adults, we behave like children. But we don't want to hear that. We don't want to admit it to ourselves, right? Because if we admit these things to ourselves, then, it's like the cat's out the bag, so to speak. You can't hide and you can't deny it. Now you have to change something or continue being a child, so to speak, right? So anyway, we'll wrap it up there for now. Remember, you need to have awareness. It's important to be aware of what's going on in your world so you're not reactive to your world. Do you understand me? And if you watch the other videos that I've been putting out, you'll see how this all corresponds in together, right? So I'm going to wrap it up there. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, all those great things. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching and bye for now.